Welcome back to Wepner Farms Productions. Got us ourselves a fresh sweatshirt on today. Fresh Wepner Farms sweatshirt. You can find apparel such as this on the Wepner Farms store, listed in the description below. But that's besides the point. We are headed to town right now because I need to get some different stuff for the farm. Going to attempt to get some chemical hose, need to get some tags for our calves, and I guess whatever else I might find. I haven't got a list from anyone else, so I don't know if anybody else needs anything. So those are the two main things I need, along with there's something else I needed, but I don't remember what it is. So I guess we'll see you at the store. Made her to the old tractor supply store. This place looks packed, so hopefully we can cruise the aisles in peace. First thing we need, recoil. Busted it on my water pump last fall. Gonna need one of those. Hope nobody else needed tags today. Tractor Supply is also the cheapest place I found to find tags. They're about $1.10 per tag, which seems kind of expensive to me, but is what it is. I was also looking for chemical hose for hooking up to my water pump, but I don't see any here. And that is not what I'm looking for. So I don't know. I'll have to see if I can order some probably. Hello babies! We are now back in the barn. Got our tags. Go tag some calves and vaccinate some calves. Just weaned another batch. We wean about a batch a week typically, so that means that we're tagging every week. I would have liked to get more tags, but they only had the 2 bags. Ideally I would have bought like 10 bags. Have enough for a little while at least, but it is what it is. Still raining, drizzling a little bit. Hello cows. What do you think? What do you think? Hello cow. I don't know. So yeah, that's what we're doing. You know, it's always something. I don't think you're supposed to be running into the corner wheel. Might be our issue here. Drive overload inverter sensor. What you gonna do? Fire up. Hello? We gonna go? It's not moving. There it goes. So right now it is going. So this is the start point, as it's at 0. To go forward, it's gonna run. So I just ran it a little bit. We're going to set our stroke. We're going to teach it to start. Alright. Now if we put it back on continuous, we're going to pray that I did it right. Alright, it's moving. We're moving. It's moving. Not 100% sure why it ran into the corner wheel, but we may have fixed it now, hopefully. Juno also took a nap last night. I don't really know why, but it decided it wanted to take a break. It was way down to the other end. Went to go start it up, and it said it couldn't find the charger. The charger's not down there. Had to carry it all the way back, put it on the charger. Crazy stuff. Technology. Technology. Here's 5051. The cow I rolled actually yesterday. It would have been last Thursday's video because this would be Sunday now. But she was eating a whole bunch this morning. Haven't seen a big change in her rumination yet. I do have her on rumen pills. I think tomorrow's gonna be a big day that we're gonna see a spike, but we can go check it out quick if you guys like. So here she is in the computer. This kind of marked when she's, well, so usually when they have a calf, it'll detect the heat because that's them kind of having a calf, just kind of how that works. Right here is her calving date, and then you can see she kind of jumped up and down on rumination, then she went right to the toilet. Not good. And then we rolled her probably somewhere in here, caught the DA and rolled her, and now she is not doing good on her stats yet, but I got faith in her. We are mixing up our Enforce 3 right now. This is our vaccine for our calves. It's for respiratory. So we got 20 milliliters of sterile water, and we got this fancy thing that puts it down into the other capsule, and then you just pull it all apart and then it's all mixed together. Now we can use it. Need a needle and we need a nose thingy majiggy. See if I can find one. I have actually a very serious question. So this is our bucket that we keep all of our tagging equipment in. This tagger stays in there, and then I'll keep bags of tags. But my question is, these are all the piercing side of the tags. Like, that's a lot. It's a lot of them. Like, really a lot. This pail's getting dirty. Should probably be cleaned out. But I just think that's an excessive amount of backs for tags that we use. Like, where are all the tags? There was a comment on a previous video talking about our calf barns here, and we were complimented on how clean we keep the barn, that they were impressed with how clean of an environment our calves were in. So I just thought we'd take a moment to appreciate the cleanliness. We do try to keep it pretty clean in here. We'll sweep all the floors like once a month, just to kind of get this extra straw that's on the ground cleaned up. And then obviously when we clean pens out themselves, if you have any fall on the ground, we usually scrape up around the area and get that all cleaned up. So we do try to keep it pretty clean in here. It does get dirty, but what can you expect? Along with underneath these pails, whenever we clean the barn out, we'll go and scrape this up underneath the pails and stuff. So it doesn't take much to keep things nice and clean. Just gotta take some pride in your work. It just does the rest for you. So these are the ones I gotta vaccinate yet. They have not been vaccinated. These are all vaccinated. A little concerned about you. You're probably not vaccinated. I'll have to count that, but I'm not gonna do that right now. But basically, you need to get tags on these heifers. I must have did the steers already when I vaccinated them, because I didn't need clean tags. So I guess whoever doesn't have a tag has got to be locked up, and this pen specifically needs to be vaccinated. That wasn't too bad. This one was trying to be smart on me, but we got her done. Tags got to dry for just a little bit, so we're gonna go ahead and get these all vaccinated and we'll be able to pop those tags in. So I'm doing just a little over 2 cc's because we only have 9. And a proper dosage is 2. So, tip their head up, squirt it in. doing in there? You're supposed to be watching, silly guys. I don't know how I had you balancing on there, if I'm gonna be honest. So we're putting these tags in. We're trying to get in between the cartilage. Trying not to hit anything that's gonna hurt them. So this tag we're gonna put right in here. Typically these buttons are done on the top there. So we typically put them, but this one for some reason was done wrong. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this and film it. So you're going to hit the tag to go in there. In between the cartilage, the ear. Just gonna pop it on. Probably get more spooked from the sound than they do actually the tag going in them. So everybody's got their tags, identification. Also, if you're wondering why this bedding pack looks so dark, it's not necessarily because it's wet. It is a little wet just because of the rain and everything. But we're bedding with rice, straw, grassy stuff, and it's just really dark processed. It's just, yeah. Typically we use wheat straw. Probably going to be mixing some corn stalks in now that we've got some corn stalks to use, but I'll show you the material in a second. So yeah, this is the straw. It's just very dark, and it just makes it look extra wet in here. I am glad that job's done. Now we're walking back. See, the scraper is still running. Right there you can see the flat bar that pulls it. I don't know if you can see it moving, but you can trust me, it's still moving. So hopefully we fix that issue. We got our overflow hot dogs over here. What do you think, buddy? This guy's right here. What do you think? They're doing really good. We just ran out of room in the holding area, so we had to have a place to put them. So we threw them in some calf hutches here. We are moving out, pulling hose out of this field. Way too wet, like way too wet. So I'm just bringing the tractor back, stealing Big Ricky's tractor. I think this is my first time driving it with the wides on, so that's kind of neat. Those things do stick out quite a ways. So just driving this back. Dad's picking up the hose. Just gonna get it back to the farm, and then I'm gonna get my sprayer out and look at that thing. So yeah, see you back there. Everything to the east of us is all hosed. We're gonna do this field. I don't know how many acres combined. It's probably about 20 some acres. We're gonna do this one, but then we got a bunch of rain. This is pretty low ground, pretty wet ground, so deciding just to pull out of here. We're gonna try to get the semis out tomorrow, start doing some further fields, but for now we just got the slurry store field. Gonna maybe try to get that done today, it sounds like, and then move on to tankering manure tomorrow with the semis. Watch that pipe, make sure it doesn't swing in anything. Hopefully it's gonna hold itself there now. It's just sticking out in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, on the road. This is actually a waterway. It's not actually a lane, so that makes it a little bit more interesting. So we are currently doing the perimeter of this field. We call it slurry store field, hence the slurry store that's in the field. Just makes sense. So this perimeter pass is essentially just to try to make sure if any manure were to try to run away, it's going to catch it. It's kind of the main purpose behind this. Usually I don't see much manure running, but it's just a little extra precaution that we put into it. So we're just going around, just one pass, kind of making some grooves for manure to land in. Looks like Dad got a little loose with the hose, reeling it up. Must have pulled too easy down that hill. it was kind of double winding itself, which is not ideal. But we got the tractor parked on it right now. Just gonna give it some tension, pull it off. Got that drag hose all set up back by the sprayer now. We're going to look a little further into this before it gets too late in the day. It's coming on 3 o'clock right now, so I'd like to see if I can figure something out before the dealership is closed. So see if this thing's dead today. Oh, just in time. Had just barely enough juice to start. I don't know, there's a draw somewhere and it just doesn't stay charged very good. If I'm running it every day, it's fine, but if I leave it a week, it probably won't start. So that is still unfortunate. I'd like to look into it, see if I should send Big Ricky to do that. Actually, he's a lot more knowledgeable. He could probably find if there's a draw somewhere, but me personally, not my department. I know how to run it, know how to do everything else on it, but as far as the mechanical work like that, not really my thing. Even these wires I'm going to look at tonight, I don't know. I'll be able to play with the wires, but I'm not going to be taking a test or anything to it, unfortunately. So basically my problem here is my aim command and my, what do you call that? So basically what's going on here is I get past a certain point. If you watch my last video, you know what's happening. But like my booms are up here around chest height. They're working just fine as they should. But then I lower it any lower, it's all in like a 1-inch area. Shuts everything off. And from my research, a lot of people are saying that it's probably wiring harness going over the axle, that it's getting tight, or basically something with the wiring harness, which makes sense. It must be somehow getting tight that it's not working, but I'm not sure. I did have problems with my right side wiring harness. I don't quite remember where it was, but I was up here somewhere. I remember, I don't think I had this box apart, but I remember I taped a bunch of stuff. This is all taped. It'd be a good time to know really what I did. But I remember I was up on top somewhere, and I taped a whole bunch of stuff. Right there. So I guess, I don't know, I'm gonna play with these wires for a little bit and see if I can make it do anything, so I can talk to someone smarter than me about what's going on and see if I can come to a conclusion. Well, I've made a phone call and it sounds like we just have an electrical nightmare is what we have. But basically what he told me is wire's probably broken here somewhere within the harness, and I either gotta find it and take it apart, splice it back together, or gotta get a new harness and put that in. And neither of those options really sound all that fun. So I guess first thing I want to do is try to find out where it broke, instead of just wiggling it, the harness, try to get it to make the connection again, find out where it's apart, and then take the harness apart and put it back together. But it's just not going to be fun. So I guess I'm just going to keep trying to find it is what I'm going to do now. Might have found our problem here. Trying to get this box open. Holy shit. smells like a Nibbles party. That is disgusting. So I have the product on right now. Booms are still offline according to the screen, the monitor in there. So I guess it's just a matter of trying to play with this, see if we can find anything. Not very fun times or good times, or just not good in general. So this is the node harness right here. It's got some bare wires starting to show, I don't know, junk basically. Ordered a new node harness that's $1,800, and then while we're in the fun of doing harnesses, this one has been coming apart and probably has to do with some other boom problems. So could take the whole thing apart, find the issue truly, and splice it together and do a temporary fix, or we can just redo the harnesses and be done with it. Neither jobs are going to be fun. Neither jobs would be cheap in the long run. Nothing. I don't know. Either fix it or you don't. So we're gonna fix it. Hopefully. Hopefully that's the problem, I guess. Because otherwise we're just throwing money away, I guess. But that's kind of a bummer. So thank God I'm not trying to spray today. This thing will be going in the shop and it needs some minor adjustments on some other stuff and whatnot, so it already had to be kind of put to the side to be worked on. But this has not been a good year, right? I'm at a loss for words. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong and has gone wrong so far this year. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Check out the merchandise. Maybe get yourself a sweatshirt if they're up yet. I don't know if I put them up. At this point, I might have. Working on some new hats that are a little bit cheaper because I'm making them myself. So working on some hats. There's some women's apparel and whatnot. If anybody wants anything, it's on there. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.